Try again. Now we're at Delmar and Goodfellow. Whew. Where was we? We was ruler, a prince whose character is marked by every act which may define a tyrant is unfit to be the ruler of a free people. Nor have we been wanting in our attentions to our British brethren. We have warned them from time to time of attempts by their legislature to extend an unwarrantable jurisdiction over us, of our immigrations and settlements here. We have appealed to their native justice and magnanimity, and we have conjured them by the ties of our common kindred to disavow these usurpations. His book, usurpations, which would inevitably interrupt our connections and correspondence. They too have been deaf to the voice of justice and consanguinity. We must therefore acquiesce in the necessity which denounces our separation and hold them as we hold the rest of mankind, enemies in war, in peace, friends. So they're saying, hey, we really like these dudes, but they also won't listen to justice, and so we gotta not be friends no more. And doesn't that sound familiar? We, therefore, the representatives of the United States of America in General Congress as assembled, appealing to the Supreme Judge of the world for the rectitude of our intentions, do, in the name and by the authority of the good people of these colonies, solemnly publish and declare that these united colonies are, and of right, ought to be free and independent states. That part's italicized. It's squiggly. Free and independent states, that they are absolved from all allegiance to the British Crown, and that all political connection between them and the state of Britain is, and ought to be, totally dissolved, and that, as free and independent states, we have the power to levy war, conclude peace, contract alliances, establish commerce, and do all the other acts and things which independent states may of right do. And for the support of this declaration, with firm allegiance on the protection of the divine providence, we mutually pledge each other's our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor. And then I like this next part because we've got hella names here. Some guys, some people. Signed by John Hancock, President. Georgia, we had Button Gwinnett, Lyman Hall, George Walton. South Carolina had Edward Rutledge, Thomas Hayward maybe Jr., Thomas Lynch Jr., Arthur Middleton. In North Carolina, we had William Hooper, Joseph Hewes, John Penn. Maryland had Samuel Chase, William Pucka, Thomas Stone, Charles Carroll of Carrollton. Wow, that's a little narcissistic. Virginia had George Wythe, Richard Henry Lee, Thomas Jefferson, Benjamin Harrison, Thomas Nelson Jr., Francis Lightfoot Lee, Carter Braxton. Pennsylvania had Robert Morris, Benjamin Rush, Benjamin Franklin, John Morton, George Clymer, James Smith, George Taylor, James Wilson, George Ross. Delaware had Caesar Rodney, George Reed, Thomas McKean. Oh, cool. And now we're at the Constitution itself. Yay! We, the people, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. Wow, that sure sounds like it's for the whole ass land, everyone on it, and not just like, you guys, because you've got a magic paper, but not you guys, because you don't have a magic paper. It sounds like we all get these rights, but I am just a dumb girl, aren't I? Anywho's, Article 1, Section 1. All legislative powers herein granted shall be vested in a Congress of the United States, which shall consist of a Senate and a House of Representatives. They did this to fight with the who owns land, who can vote, how big the states are, population versus land size, which is funny to me because land sure can't vote, but again, they didn't ask me. I wasn't there. Even if I was there, I was woman. I wouldn't have been allowed to own land. Section 2, the House of Representatives shall be composed of members chosen every second year by the people of the several states, and the electors in each state shall have the qualifications requisite for electors of the most numerous branch state legislature. Wow, it sounds like they want people to know how it functions. No person shall be a representative who shall not have attained to the age of 25 years, has been 7 years a citizen of the United States, and who shall not, when elected, be an inhabitant of the state in which he shall be chosen. You gotta live where you work, so we don't get people who are like, haha, I'm in California, but I'm in charge of Ohio, and I don't know what Ohio needs. But that was an example. Ohio has its own homegrown mess in its backyard. They be letting kids die and suffer. Representatives and direct taxes shall be apportioned among the several states, which may be included in this union, according to the respective numbers, which shall be determined by adding to the whole number of free persons, included those bound to service for a term of years, that is indentured servitude. We're about to talk about slavery. The number of free persons, including those bound to service for a term of years, and excluded Indians not taxed, 3/5 of all other persons. Yikes, not the 3/5 compromise. They were entire people, despite the government not treating them as such. The actual enumeration shall be made within 3 years after the first meeting of the Congress of the United States, and within every subsequent term of 10 years, in such manner as they shall by law direct. That really sounds like, hey, count all the people so that we know how many people. I don't think a census is government overreach, and not to be inflammatory, but you're kind of fucking stupid if you do think so. Sorry. The number of representatives shall not exceed 1 for every 30,000, but each state shall have at least 1 representative, and until such enumeration shall be made, the state of New Hampshire shall be entitled to just 3, Massachusetts 8, Rhode Island and Providence Plantations 1, Connecticut 5, New York 6, New Jersey 4, Pennsylvania 8, Delaware 1, because it's Whittle. Oh no, that's Rhode Island, I'm goofy. Maryland Island 6, Virginia 10, North Carolina 5, South Carolina 5, and Georgia 3. When vacancies happen in the representation from any state, the executive authority thereof shall issue writs of election to fill such vacancies. Oh, that must be like special elections. Primaries are probably related somehow. The House of Representatives shall choose their speaker and other officers, and shall have the sole power of impeachment. Ooh, hot topic. Section 3. The Senate of the United States shall be composed of 2 legislators from each state, chosen by the legislator, therefore, of 6 years, and each senator shall have 1 vote. Immediately after, they shall be assembled. A dog? Oh, they're cute. Cute little babies. There's 2 chihuahuas going for a walk across the street from me. I can't figure out how to make my camera flip, or I'd show y'all. Just kidding. I don't want to infringe on someone's private morning. Anywho, this is again section 3. Immediately after, they shall be assembled in consequence of the first election. They shall be divided as equal as may be into 3 classes. Ooh, my bus is here. Goodbye, my fine feather friends. Stay free.